I'm Tony Hipwell. I'm the co-owner of Milestone Films. Film was always my first love. Ever since I was a kid, just certain movies like Jaws and Die Hard and Aliens just pretty much burned themselves in my brain. And after that, it was pretty clear that was the kind of stuff that I was interested in. But I've always, I enjoy stories wherever I can get them. I kind of devour it like Johnny Five half the time. Like I love comics, I love books, I love film, TV, animation, and gaming is a great way just to let off steam and get away from things for a while before I go back to freaking out over the latest script or budget or how we're going to figure things out. I wrote a script, a fantasy comedy called Bob the Great, and that was about a complete bum who's just spent his time just playing video games, but then he gets sucked into kind of a game-like world. And I was liking to do a story where you can show that the characters around it, like what was usually frequently interesting in gaming is like the ensemble cast can be quite rich, and like usually the focus person, like the player character, can be quite almost like a cipher for the player to kind of imprint their own kind of ideas on and things like that. So in Bob, like the main guy, he doesn't have the Rocky montage. He doesn't get better. He's just crap. For years, for me, gaming just always seemed to be about getting a high score, collecting coins, just keep moving right on the screen until the credits came up. And for a long time, I couldn't really kind of find a reason for why this would motivate me to keep playing a game. It just seemed really quite fruitless. A friend of mine had a PlayStation 1 and he was just playing Metal Gear Solid, and instantly it just absolutely caught my attention because there was a plot, for one thing, which was pretty much unheard of in most games other than save the princess, save the animals. And this one was pretty much set up like a blockbuster Hollywood movie, but it had vastly more well-rounded characters. It was well written. It was aware of its time and place, like politically, and it was aware of what kind of tone it was trying to tell. It wasn't taking itself too seriously, but it was remarkably intelligent and confident all at the same time. I think if anything, it was the characterization of someone like Snake. There was some really interesting sequences in the film. Well, not in the film, in the game where he'd save certain characters, and a lot of the characters would be like, "Oh my God, you're so good! Thank you for saving me." And unlike a lot of kind of quite just two-dimensional action films where the guy would just be like, "Oh yeah, shucks." Then you never see the guy bleed or anything like that. Snake was pretty much a complete wreck. He felt kinship with his enemies. Like he always respected the soldiers. It was just different causes, different reasons that people would be going up against. It was all ideological, and it's one of those things that just make you thinking about the fact that the people that you're fighting, there's a reason they're doing that as well. And I think that's always been something I've been very interested in, is making sure that you know where characters are coming from and the effects that these actions kind of have on them. Because otherwise it's just just becomes superheroes. Just that you've got to try and find that simple humanity in the characters, and that was one of the first places I really saw something doing that. And again, it was in gaming, which up until that point it seemed unthinkable that you could have that kind of level of thought or consideration in a story, even if just to have one. Metal Gear Solid was the game which made me rethink my attitude to gaming as a whole, and what got me into the medium and became a fierce proponent of it. Something like with gaming is that it absolutely requires the participation of someone to make it work. With TV or any number of other things, that you can be quite passive doing it, and gaming absolutely requires you to be an agent to making sure that you get to the end and you get that kind of experience that you just can't quite have, I think, in any other medium.